it is untouched by time and space.
Yeah.
All the rest is like time bound. That's all it is. Okay.
Actually,
So
Guru Nanak, if you listen to Japji Sahab, he talks about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and you look behind them, which is where the Brahman is, which we are talking about.
Okay, now I got an idea for how to explain this to Sheilaji. Just look at gold and ornaments. Okay, relatively speaking, we're talking about to understand this concept. Gold हमेशा रहेगा शीला जी, लेकिन उसका ऑर्नामेंट आप अलग अलग बना सकते हो. कभी आपने उसकी ईयरिंग बना ली, कभी क्या, फिर अगर वो प्योर गोल्ड है, सपोज 24 कैरेट का बनाया आपने, तो आप सब मेल्ट करके वापस कुछ क्रिएट कर लो. उसका गोल्ड हमेशा रहेगा, लेकिन उसको क्रिएट कर सकते हो, राइट? तो वो गोल्ड इज ब्राह्मण एंड ऑर्नामेंट्स आर दिस डिफरेंट थिंग्स. हाँ, एंड देन ओशन को देख लो आप. ओशन एंड वेव्स, क्या संबंध है उनका? ओशन हमेशा रहता है, वेव्स आती जाती रहती है. तो जब हम लोग देवता बोलते हैं ना, देवता लाइक टेम्पररी है, बट ब्राह्मण इज दैट फैक्टर जो हमेशा रहता है. और जैसे जैसे हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे ना, इसमें और क्लियर होता जाएगा शीला जी, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट दे डू. दे एंड देन इफ यू हैव टाइम, गो बैक टू चैप्टर 2 एंड आई विल टेल यू विच वर्सेस. उसमें वो ब्राह्मण का एग्जैक्टली ब्राह्मण क्या है उसका और भी डेफिनेशन दिया गया है. अभी यही तो आने वाला है आगे, यू नो, जो वर्स 18 में आएगा.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच. उमा जी, आप पहले बोल रहे थे कि इंडिया में जैसे हर गांव का कोई कुल देवता होता है. आई कैन टेक यू बियॉन्ड दैट. इवन हर फैमिली का कोई कुल देवता या कुल देवी की पूजा होती है, कोई भी इम्पोर्टेंट.
ट्रू. और मैं आपको और एक स्टेप फर्दर डाउन, अगर एक फैमिली में 5 जन है ना, 5 जन 5 लोगों को मानेंगे, है कि नहीं? लेकिन सबके पाथ अलग हो सकते हैं, बट वो उनका मकसद एक ही है कि वहां तक पहुंचना. कौन सा वो ये बोले ना, अवलंबन क्या लो, उसका सपोर्ट तुम क्या ले रहे हो.
बिल्कुल ठीक,
वही है. तो जैसे कि एक फैमिली में, जैसे हमारी फैमिली में ना, हम 5 भाई बहन है ना, कोई विपासना में जा रहा है, कोई सहज मार्ग में, मैं चिन्मया में. एक ही फैमिली. हस्बैंड वाइफ भी डिफरेंट होते हैं. I know one couple which the wife really loves bhakti marg. So she's a, वो कौन से एक स्वामी थे, मृदुल not मृदुल, sorry, मैं भूल गई. There is one जो भक्ति में है, कृपालु महाराज. She was a complete devotee of, and उसका husband was completely for Sadguru. And Sadguru had not become popular those days. He had just come. And he was connecting, and she came and told me, because we were like in the same study group, and she said, I don't know what my husband finds in this Sadguru, in engineering, inner engineering, मेरे को तो भक्ति में झूमना अच्छा लगता है. He keeps telling me to go there, I keep telling him to go here. So I said, you can't force him, if he wants to go in that, just let him do. If he's not stopping you from going in your bhakti, don't expect he will come with you.
Grateful.
So that's why it's 33 crore devta, because everybody has different
mind. In my family, like we are many generations living together. My father-in-law sits in his room. He does his own kind of puja. We don't even know what he says there. But he has his own way. He doesn't want to put any photo or anything. But every morning and evening, he sit down and meditate. He does his... then I believe in SRF, so I sit in my room and meditate. My daughter believes in both. She would love to have Krishna's photo, and she would love to have this Devi's photo and this thing, and she will sit and meditate in front of that photo. And she would love the music. She will play harmonium and all that. Then my daughter-in-law believes in Murti Puja. So she has all these altar made up of so many small little murtis are there. She will every day she will lit the lamp, and then she will give water to the sun. So everybody is doing their own way. We never say why you are doing this. You follow this, you follow that. But whenever we do some together, then we have some mantras. I lead the mantras. I lead the group, and everybody knows those mantras, and we all do together.
Good, very nice.
But
Wonderful. Yeah.
but the positive thing is that every room of the house has vibrations, and all those are positive vibrations.
Yeah. We have to respect other people's path and other people's. True. Okay, so I'm going to close the this class over here, and we still have 20 minutes. We can discuss whatever. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. So anybody has any question on these things or want to bring up a spiritual topic? Meena ji.
Umaji, one question I know we talked about in this shloka in the Geeta about the ahankar and what goes on behind the mind, the factors. Shed some light on it, because I know when in the mind there are two things going on. One is constantly going on, running at the back, and then we talked about the ahankar, constant. Is that the one that you think is the ahankar? What is, I know, understand the ahankar is with the I-ness and all that. I'm talking particularly about those two things in the mind that goes on forever.
So,
and how to stop, and what is the peace? What is peace connected to it? Is it the background noise? What is it that, peace is connected when we talk about the peace?
there are several ways to approach this answer, because ahankar is a huge topic, and sometimes like we think, oh, mera ahankar kam ho gaya hai, and it may be exactly the opposite. And one of the persons, I still remember that time I didn't know much about Vedanta and all, and he was actually Geeta Pracharak, and he was talking about Geeta and all, and he said, there is one danger in this path of knowledge, and it follows it like a chaya, and that is ahankar. Very hard to get rid of it. Because jitna log Vedanta pad lete na, I know so much, another person doesn't. Anyway, that's just one aspect of it. So what ahankar is, it's something to do with this, what I was talking about, this self, that I think I am this. I am my intellect, I am my body, my this, right? What Chinmayananji used to say is, these are tools that we use in our work to live, right? Mind, intellect, and body, and senses, and all these are tools given to us. So what it is, ahankar mein kya hota hai ki tool, समझो कोई मशीन समझ लो, कंटिन्यूसली ऑन है, तुम उसको शट करना ही नहीं जानते हो, बिकॉज तुम्हारा माइंड जो है ना, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है तो चिंता कर रहा है, पास्ट की, फ्यूचर की, वो सब अहंकार के डोमेन में आता है. बिकॉज दिस स्वामीज व्हाट दे डू इज, he said, I take my intellect out of my pocket, I use it when it needed, and I put it back there. That means I shut the machine. So that's why they can sit quietly. हम लोग को कोई पहले 5 मिनट 10 मिनट 15 मिनट क्वाइटली बैठो तो लगता है कि वो टू डू लिस्ट में क्या है, क्या करना है, सी व्हाट ऑल दैट. वी डोंट नो हाउ टू शट आवर माइंड. आई थिंक योर क्वेश्चन रिलेट्स टू समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज, वंस यू गेट दिस नॉलेज, देन तुम्हारा वो जो फॉल्स कनेक्शन है वो टूट जाएगा माइंड, इंटेलेक्ट, बॉडी से. यू विल जस्ट यूज देम लाइक अ टूल. दैट्स व्हाई दैट नॉइज स्टॉप्स. That's why that Swami gave the example of the noise that continuously. He said that तुम लोग जब सुनते हो तभी भी talking चल रहा है तुम्हारे मन में.
Right.
Yeah. So with this knowledge, less and less will start happening.
See that other shlok in Gita where he says, Shraddha, faith and humility. Those three are needed for learning anything.
यही तो हमने किया अभी. Why you saying any other? इसमें तो किया हमने.
I know, but humility is.
अभी तो humility के साथ साथ 25, 30, 50 आने वाले अभी. Chapter 9, 10, 11 में आएगा. Whatever you are saying, उसमें आएगा. और humility भी आप देखो, किसी ने बोला, the moment you say I have humility, you have lost it. It is such a subtle thing because, and even, like, abhiman ka bhi unhone 3-4 word use kiye hain. Dambha, and that means there is one abhiman hota hai, जो मेरा टैलेंट है उसका अभिमान है मेरे पास, समझो. ओके, राइट, कि मेरे पास ये टैलेंट है, वो उसको भी अभिमान ही बोलते हैं, अहंकार ही बोलते हैं. पर कोई कोई लोग होते हैं कुछ नहीं है, दे विल मेक अप, उसको दम्भ बोलते हैं. मतलब है इतना सा, उसको इतना बड़ा बना के बोलेंगे, ओ आई हैव दिस, आई हैव दैट, आई कैन डू दिस, आई कैन सिंग सो ब्यूटिफुली. दैट इज इवन वर्स्ट बिकॉज नाउ यू हैव टू कीप अप दैट charade. मैंने दुनिया को तो बोल दिया.
Humility in terms of learning is that you don't put your 2 cents in. When you are learning something, you assume with the Shraddha and faith, what you are getting is what you are learning and forget what you knew. Because with that, then you don't argue and you save your energy to learn that. Otherwise, you always keep saying, I know this, so this is different. So you're always arguing.
True, very
that
true.
argument gets finished.
Yeah.
But isn't it true to clarify your doubts?
No, that's different.
Something
It is not, yeah.
Something you know and something else telling differently. So therefore the question arises and you want to know exactly, was I right in thinking that way? Or, or maybe, to understand. That's what I mean.
See, what you're talking about is very, very important at our level to clarify that doubt. But ahankar is like, I just think that what I know is correct. There are people like that. They will listen to everybody, but they will not give up their own way of thinking. And when we are studying the Shastras, that's why I keep saying that thing, that we have to have an open mind.
Because they think mine is the only way. And
that's another problem.
What it is everybody is right. But they think mine is a better one, right?
Yeah, true.
So then you don't learn, because then you say mine is the better way.
And I'll tell you one more aspect of ahankar, that when I keep thinking, I think you are the one who always point out that when we say I can do this, I can do that, I have the free will, तो उसमें ना वो अहंकार actually ज़्यादा strong होता जाता है, because I forget that all the faculties are given by that Brahman to me. Just think about it. Forget about all that. Even the complete scientific fact over here, that अगर समझो हमारी थोड़ी तबीयत खराब हो जाती है, हमसे उठा भी नहीं जाता है. Forget about doing some big thing and your mind gets clouded. We can't do thinking. अगर कोई हमारी तबीयत खराब हो, कोई आके कोई प्रश्न पूछेगा, हम बोलेंगे not today, I can't think, come tomorrow when I feel better, then I will answer. We are so dependent on the higher self to give us everything. And then when I say, I can do this, my mind is very strong and all that, we forget. That is also another kind of ahankar. See what I'm saying? Ahankar is a very subtle thing, but I have seen that a lot of people who are extremely successful, they are extremely humble. Like even scientists, because I spent so much time in my life with scientists, some of them, would say, man, I've been working on this thing. Usko Nobel Prize bhi mil gaya, huh? I don't know anything. In the end, they admit. And this morning only I was listening, there is one fellow, his name is Chen, I think he says, and he does this ND shows and all, has become very popular. Somebody was interviewing him, and he knew a lot of concept of Vedanta, and they interviewed, and me bolta hai, I really don't know anything. Well, the humility was just so sweet in him. And he genuinely said, I'm just trying. If you ask me, I'm answering you. But genuinely, I don't know anything. And my husband always says, as a scientist, हम लोग जितना ज़्यादा उसके अंदर जाते हैं ना, हम लोग को पता था हमको कुछ नहीं आता. Because it's so vast. It's so human body. They said people think that they know all the genes and all that. They don't know 2% of it. क्या होता है अंदर जाके. Very complicated. So in the end, it's a surrender and those kind of things like they yield better result when we surrender.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if that answered, but there are many aspects to it.
Omaji also under Shraddha, when we are listening to the Guru, we don't have to accept everything. If we have a doubt, we must ask the question to
Yes.
remove the doubt.
No, that's very important. See, श्रद्धा और डाउट में थोड़ा सा फर्क है. That's why कृष्ण भगवान ने ना एक वर्ड यूज किया है कई बार भगवद गीता में, सूयते. Okay, that जो the person who does do सूयते, वो मेरे को पसंद है. सूयते means unnecessarily picking small faults in something. Unnecessarily. You don't want to clear your doubt. नहीं ये ठीक नहीं है, इसमें ये ठीक नहीं है. That's the problem. So और कितनी भी कोई अच्छी चीज दे देगा ना, वो एक डॉट है उसमें ब्लैक, this is not perfect. Looking for
That's where the ego comes in.
yes, there you go. So अगर क्वेश्चन आंसर में उनको प्रॉब्लम होती तो वो लोग ये स्टाइल ही यूज नहीं करते. ये नचिकेता का भी तो यही चल रहा है ना. He's asking questions, and same way Arjun. And now when you see that we are almost at the end of chapter 4, chapter 5 starts with Arjun's question. He's still confused. He said, you glorified knowledge to that extent, and you said कि कर्म से छूटने के लिए कर्म करो, तो कर्म करने की जरूरत ही क्या है? अकर्म मोड में जाने के लिए बोला ना उसने. What Arjun had not grasped कि वहां जाने के लिए ये पैथ जरूरी है. अगर समझो कि एक एग्जाम्पल मेरे मन में आया कि and we have heard this example 100 times, but it's a good one to repeat it again. The one who do the high jump, he takes the pole and then he drops the pole and then he goes. So एक आदमी ने उसको खाली ड्रॉप करते हुए देखा पोल. So इसे उसको तो पोल की जरूरत ही नहीं है, तो मुझे क्या जरूरत है पोल की? मैं तो ऐसे ही पहुंच सकता हूँ. लेकिन वो भूल गया कि उसने पहले ऊंचाई के लिए उसको चाहिए था. तो the same is कर्म योगा. That we cannot give up that fast. Our ahankar will say, oh yeah, मैं तो पहुंच गई वहां. Then we'll fall flat on our face. Like our teacher used to say कि तुम लोग को लगता है कि तुम लोग बहुत दिनों से आ रहे हो यहाँ पे, अभी देखना in your life कोई आके खड़ा हो जाएगा तुम्हारे सामने. Family member कोई भी होगा, and you will have some difficulties with them. Then you will know that have you reached there or not. Test is not finished yet. In fact, there is a very great drishtant. There was one saint who was like very calm minded and all that, कभी गुस्सा नहीं करता था. तो किसी ने उसको आके पूछा, अरे आपने तो क्रोध को जीत लिया है? तो उसने बोला कि नहीं, अब पता नहीं, अभी नहीं, मैं बताऊंगा जब मैंने क्रोध को जीत लिया. Then he was one day on his deathbed, about to die, and then he said, okay, now you can say. Because he said you never know, right? मेरे को लगता है मैंने जीत लिया, कल को फिर कुछ हो जाए तो. So that ahankar is like, oh, I can do it, I have got it, all that kind of thing comes under that. So I think asking question is totally fine if it is, for the purpose of reaching where you want to reach. That's why you're asking that question. In fact, that is one of the ingredient he said to get this knowledge. Imagine.
Yes.
Right? So that's why. So we have to take it in the right context, for sure. And if we don't have any particular question, we still have 5 minutes. Joe had said that, if people want to talk about what they got out of the class or why they came, if somebody wants to share that, like, Shireen did, we had talked about it and there were other questions and also it never came up, so one of you can, if you want to tell about that to the rest of the class. Who wants to go? Anilji?
Okay, I'll go very briefly. I grew up in a very traditional Jain family, and in Jain family, this Brat Vagara, they are very big, and everything is about sense control. And from the very childhood, I saw that maybe they were going too far. For example, I saw when I was about 10-year-old, one of the Jain Munis who had given up everything, they will not even wear clothes, he was shivering with cold very badly. And I thought this is not right, because when somebody is so uncomfortable, how can he be at peace with himself or even give you the message of peace, you know? So also our Jain Munis, they don't trim their hair, they pull their hair.
Oh my God.
So they are bleeding and they are still pulling their hair, and there is a big gathering there. Everybody is admiring, and I just thought that self-control should be to have your indriyas in control, so they don't overpower you, but not go to the extent where you are torturing yourself.
So interesting, because Krishna Bhagwan is going to talk about it. That, you know, that is exactly what you're saying. He's saying that you don't need to torture your body about anything, because body mein to Bhagwan rehte hain. So you're
Right.
torturing that Bhagwan only. Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, true. That's exactly why all these saints and sages come when they see people tipping over to the fanaticism or superstition and things like that. They come and try to correct it. That's their goal. So it's very interesting what you shared.
Also, Osho, he was a Jain also. And he commented exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he said a lot of these traditions were from old days. And now that things have changed, so people are still sticking to those traditions.
Yeah.
So that is, some of that is there, you know.
Actually, Osho said that enjoy the life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Don't give up anything, but don't be attached to anything.
Yes, that's
Exactly,
that's
yeah,
the key thing.
that's right.
Yeah, exactly right. And if you see Gautam Buddha's path, he tried to starve himself and all that, and then wo almost behosh hoke gir pade the, and then he realized that this torturing the body is not the answer, and then he started eating, and that one of his devotees, Sujata, her name was, she gave him the kheer. All that famous stories are there, and he said then he preached the middle path. And that's exactly what Bhagavad Gita is saying. It's going to come in chapter 6. If you want to do meditation, you cannot oversleep or undersleep. Koi kahega ki bhai, oh, I have to meditate, that's why I have to stay up. That's not right. Get the right amount of sleep, right amount of food. Then you will be able to meditate, he said.
And that example of chariot and the driver and the intellect and all that. If the chariot is not in good shape, then you're not getting anywhere.
Exactly. That's the role of the body. So body has to be kept healthy, but don't obsess over it.
Right.
Like they do in this country, Or wrinkles in the eye. I mean, had ho gayi, What are you saying? Uska dharmi hai end mein, when you are like 70 years old, 80 years old, you're going to get all that. Why, how much you're going to do wrinkle prevention?
But look at how much misery it brings you. Every time you stand in front of the mirror, you say, oh my God, another one, Where did this come from?
So it's like our teacher used to say, nature has made slowly to give you indication to withdraw. बाल सफ़ेद होने शुरू हो जाएंगे, कम सुनना शुरू हो जाएगा, कम दिखना, पर हम लोग है ना उसको constantly hearing aid लगाओ, ये करो, because we want to do it sense control, sense indulgence so much. No, I want to see like I used to see when I was 20 years old. The nature is telling you to calm down now.
Yeah, I remember in Ramayana, there's one very important fact that जब राजा दशरथ ने एक दिन शीशे में देखा कि उनके बाल थोड़े सफेद हो गए हैं, सफेद बाल आ गया है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि now it is time for me to give up my throne. राम को राज्य देना है. तो not clinging on to it till the very end कि भाई वो of course circumstances दूसरे हुए कि उनकी डेथ हुई वगैरह वगैरह, लेकिन अपने आप ही ये सोच लेना कि अब इस स्टेज पे आ गए हैं कि अब यहाँ से ध्यान हटा के हमें तो दूसरी तरफ ध्यान लगाना है and give the reins of power to somebody else, to the younger generation to come.
Yes.
तो वही है कि यहाँ पर आजकल आई थिंक सब कुछ अपने आप ही हम ही खींचते चले जाएं, हम ही सब कुछ करते जाएं. उसमें ये भी आता है कि हम wrinkles को कैसे हटाएं, तो ये कैसे करें, वो कैसे करें. I think part of that. I don't know if this is relevant at all.
No, it is relevant. It is relevant for sure, because knowing when to withdraw and when to do what you want to do. So that's exactly the balance we need. And here in this country, I think my husband was telling me that when he was a Berkeley student, one of the professors sued ki bhai, the government ki bhai, the age for retirement is a wrong thing for professors. So he won. So now there is no retirement age for professors. They can go on till they are 90, and they said they become so useless because they are not giving the chance to the young generation. They just sit on their seat and keep taking everything. But I mean, खुद से सोचना चाहिए कि like give the younger generation chance now. मेरा हो गया जितना मैंने करना था कर दिया.
Actually, in the entire government, there is no age restriction, and that's a major problem. People, even their late 80s, are still.
Exactly. See that it causes bad things in the society, because the poor young people don't have jobs then. They are capable, they have more energy, they have everything, and they need to be given a chance, and they don't want to give them. These Buddhas don't want to give them a chance.
They are the ones who are going to be raising young families. They are
Yes.
the ones who need that income to support their family and etc. And but the oldies really don't want to retire. And in our profession, 3 months before you decide that you want to retire, you write a letter to the dean and say, I want to retire on this date. Till that decision comes from you, nobody can make you retire.
Amazing. Isn't that so? Kitna lopsided sab kar diya, because people just don't think about other people. They just become too selfish. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So
I'm saying that now because I'm retired.
No, but that is why Corona helped.
कोरोना ने सीधा कर दिया जो हमारे उल्टी सीधी थिंकिंग.
I don't know, because many of all the classes went online during that time, so there was less.
No, I meant it was killing older people.
Oh my God.
They were disappearing.
जो भी है, those things we will never know exactly why all this happened, because we don't have the capability of knowing.
Like Supreme Court, they never retire. So, in fact, Obama took Ginsburg out that if you retire, I can nominate somebody in your place. She refused.
I know.
So,
I know. In the West, especially.
Bordering on, I mean, she could have mentored, other people to excellence. She could have brought in women with intelligence and be a mentor and made a name for herself.
See, that's what it is, that what you are saying, you don't have to become useless. You can still do a lot of productive stuff.
You can do a lot.
But you can...
you have to accept that when you get older, your capabilities are compromised.
Yes,
Right.
yes, exactly.
Your
right.
driving skills are compromised.
Yes.
So
What is the message? Stay in balance, and you can achieve the highest.
And बाल को काले करके रखो, किसी को पता ना चले.
I mean, a lot of my friends gave up. My sister in this pandemic, my older sister was 10 years older than me. So everybody said, oh, she's looking like mom now. I said, she's mom's daughter. She will look like mom. But she's so happy. She said, I don't have to color my hair,
Yeah.
There are a lot of people there. It's up to them. But anyway.
Of course.
Okay. I think it's time for lunch for everyone.
For the class.
You're welcome, everyone. Stay happy, healthy, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And those of you who color your hair, go home and color your hair. Class is up.
Yes, me. देखो हमने छोड़ दिया कलर करना.
या आप एकदम सिल्वर चमक रहे हैं. आपका सिल्वर.
Prem, you're looking stunning. Very elegant.
Thank you.
Okay. Hari Om.
Okay, everybody. Okay.